Hey guys, it's me again, Orkslayer with this. Where we last left off, let's see, checking. So, yes, Deku was taken, pretty much, essentially, or he gave himself up, in order to save the remaining police officers that were guarding his house. They were attacked by multiple monsters and people using quirks. So, Deku was, gave up. As he's taken away for auction, you could say. As he, like I said, he's like 12, I believe, at this time. 12 or 13. No, he's definitely 12. As they get the ball rolling, as on the way there, Jack's like, see, Deku, didn't have to be that hard. So, as some of the other guys, like some of the other people around them start to speculate, how much you think this kid's gonna fetch us? He's like, could be a lot, could be a little. He's small, but he's pretty good. He's gonna probably sell well. Like, wasn't there a third monster? He's like, what'd you call him? He's a Gammoth. We ain't going after that guy. He's already locked up. No way in hell we're gonna try to bust him out of prison just to throw him into fight pits. And now that we have Deku, he's gonna. Once he does get out, he's coming after us hard. It's gonna tear a path. He's gonna probably lead a war path. Ain't gonna be pretty. As Deku's like, where did you guys take Tai? He's like, hey, keep your voice down, kid. Well, is what one of the guys said, as he pretty much smacks Deku over the head. As Jack's like, easy now. You don't want to rattle the kid's brain now, do we? As, Jack's like, well, personally, I don't know where Tai went. From what I know, he's either dead. Sorry, I have to repeat that. I'm sorry I went quiet. My phone was moved. And, he says, well, I don't know if he's alive or dead, kid. But I can tell you this from experience and from sheer fact that it actually, we had to jump him so that way he wouldn't fight. So I say with confidence, kid, that he's very much alive. Where he is, I don't know. No, I don't care. And you should be worrying about yourself now. We don't have a buyer lined up for you just yet. We just know you may be selling for a high price or low price. As Deku says, you were one. Got out of the fighting pit just like us, Jack. Yet now you're just gonna throw us into it, huh? I thought you were better than that. He's like, oh, kid, you assumed way too much. Besides, you're the ones who didn't want to help me. You guys are the ones who abandoned me first. He's like, it wasn't our fault. You got the heroes coming down on you. We were finally actually doing decent. As Deku's has learned how to talk like a grown-up, you could say. Because, well, he was the literal kid of the group. Unless he was mature in conversations, he wasn't going to be taken seriously. So he talks more, like I said, maturely, and he sounds older than he actually is. He's like, thought we were friends. He's like, friends don't abandon friends to the wolves. He's like, wolves? He's like, heroes, kid. Sometimes I forget you're still a kid. Doesn't matter anyway. We'll keep you around, and when time comes, we'll sell you. It's like, you're making a mistake, Jack. He's like, the only mistake I'll make is that if I keep you around too long, my sympathetic side may try to take over. As they hold Deku at one of their hidden bases inside the forest. So that way, he isn't found. Deku takes this opportunity as he sniffs around using his monster sense to understand where they are, see if they're around anywhere familiar. And the answer is a big fat no. They're further inland than he's probably ever been. Probably more than he's ever wanted to as well, since, the deeper you go in, the less human contact you're more likely to find. So, following that, Deku does this and just waits. Just bides his time. As some of the guys are like, man, people are not really don't believe that we have a nerrgegante, do they? He's like, what can you expect? They're wanting proof of him being a nerrgegante, and Jack doesn't, Jack's trying to get proof, but he doesn't want to record a video and send it their way. Because they want to meet face to face, actually. They want to know our secret base location. But we can't just take them to a place, otherwise they may just shoot us all and kill us. They shoot us all and take Deku for free. It's a high stress situation. As Deku's like, it's a good idea. As long as they don't, as eventually Jack barges in, fine, as he pretty much gets on what you pretty much just snap. Like FaceTime or something like that. As he's like, see? As he points the camera at Deku. He's like, see? There's the kid. It's like, oh really? Proof he's a monster then. Proof he's a nerrgegante. As he's like, alright, hey Deku, turn or I'm gonna shock you. As Deku's like, what? As he's like, as he just presses the button. As Deku's like, okay. As he transforms to his monstrous form. As the other guys are like, whoa. As they've never seen a nerrgegante in real life, so they're sort of in awe at his appearance. As the person on the other line says, well now, this is interesting. Surely he'll be quite the specimen. I'll notify my the potential buyer that it's real. And we'll be sending you some things to assist you. He's like, that's good to know. When can we expect him? He's like, expect him in a day. Sorry for that little yawn. He says that the doctor isn't one to keep them waiting. As it's like, yeah, sure. And, see you later, all for one. As he clicks off, as Deku's like, all for one? He's like, good news, we got a buyer. Bad news, they're gonna be here tomorrow. Get this place looking nice. It's like, why are we wanting to make this place look nice? They won't believe Deku's in excellent health. As it's like, you can't be serious, can you? It's like, I'm serious, alright. It's like, wait, he called him the doctor. What's this doctor like? He's like, well, from what I hear is like all for one. And yes, some people do know all for one's alive, outside of the League of Villains and a few other shady characters here and there. As Deku's like, this is bad. Jack's like, oh, you should cheer up, kid. You actually got bought this time. Someone actually wanted you. As Deku said, Ty and Wilford wanted me. He's like, oh, now there ain't here anymore, so suck it up. Oh, good. I've been pulling my hair out about this situation. I'm going to take a nap. He's like, keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't escape. Yes, sir. As Deku's thinking, gotta go. They have the shock collar on me. And if I take it off, well, what happens if I try to take it off? It's like, it said it's reinforced by something that not even monsters can break free from easily. Deku starts thinking, oh, what to do. It's like, around my neck and it grows with me somewhat. As he's thinking, he's like, alright, I'll try this. As he sort of, at night, it's like late at night in the middle, and everyone's asleep. Sorry, I'm recording this late. As he's like, alright, everyone's asleep. As he makes his move, as it's like, they probably have a perimeter fence set up, so that way if I go within a certain amount, or a certain time, or a certain distance, it'll shock me, and it'll probably start shocking me hard. As he says, alright. Focusing into, like, focusing, there we go. Focusing his head, like, pretty much completely, and going, like, as he gets his claws ready, brings it to his neck, and he's like, think, as he's like, well, he doesn't bring it to his head. His head and neck are about the same size, I believe. So he's like, alright, gotta get it off. But the problem is, his horns grow too far apart for him to get them off. He's like, okay. As he sort of cuts around his neck a tiny bit, as to get, like, blood out, so that way he can, like, use it as, like, sort of, so he can, like, I don't know if this is that. I'm pretty sure this isn't how it works, but I'm just saying it is. He uses his blood as somewhat of a lubricant, you could say, to, like, move his, trying to twist it up his neck. No, it's probably not the way you do it, but still. I'm stretching it, alright? I couldn't think of anything else to do. So as he, like, moves it up his neck slowly but surely, he comes to his horns. He's like, they're too big. As he grabs up right near his head and starts yanking, as it just crack. As nobody heard this, thankfully. And if they did, they're like, huh? As Deku has removed one of his horns. As he gets the rest of the, like, the stretchy necklace over somewhat, he's able to just barely get it off him. Like, he tries to get it around his face and, like, gets it, like, around his face, and then just slides it up the big horn. He's like, alright. As he pretty much breaks open the bars, sort of punches through his wall as he starts running through the trees. So he's like, oh, thank God, they didn't stick me with a tracker, I believe, so I should be clear. Making his way to the edge of the forest, as he gets out, he's like, I've been running for over an hour. He bends down his face and starts drinking from the river. It's like, hopefully this will provide. Wait. Where am I? As he looks up to the stars, he's like, okay. That's too good. So, the city must be that way. As he starts his travel, using the stars to guide him. As he makes it over there as he's getting close, he would say, as this is what Jack wakes up to, he's like, damn it! As he, like, kicks over a table, find him! I want this entire forest searched. As Deku isn't, like, that, I wouldn't say, almost to the city, he's like, follow the tracks. His scent is fresh. Get him on there, now! As you could say, hunting dogs, or what are the equivalent, are now on Deku's trail. As they're pretty much hauling it, and they even have another monster or so coming along as they start hunting. Deku's like, it shouldn't take long. As he's like, there it is. Or not, there it is. I'm sorry you guys have to hear me on. Like I said, I'm recording late. As Deku has moved it all the way, like halfway, not halfway there, he's still ways away. As he has made it all the way there, or not all the way there, sorry. He's making his way, he hears some, running on the ground, and he starts smelling in the air. The nerrgegante has a good sense of smell, so he's like, shit, they're on my trail. As he starts running, as one of the guys at the camp is like, the kid broke off his own horn? And he's like, oh. As the doctor arrives, he's like, alright, now let me see this deku so we can just confirm. And as he sees the wall broken open and the horn lying on the ground, he's like, where is what was promised? He's like, the little bastard got his collar off. Guess by breaking his bone right here. We'll get him back, don't worry. Got some of the boys on it already. He's like, allow me. As Kurogiri appears and, well, he's let out. As Kurogiri summons a few of the Nomu, he's like, these should help you. Now, if you can give me a location, he's like, yeah, here's where my guys are. As it's like, thank you very much. Kurogiri, it's time to see what our Nomus are about. Shouldn't you say? It's like, yes, yes, doctor. As Kurogiri teleports the Nomu and themselves to the position of the trackers, or hunters. I'll call them trackers. As they're like, who are you? He's like, I'm the doctor, and this is one of my associates. And some of our creations, you could say. He's like, well, I don't care who you are. You here to get after the kid? It's like, yes, we are, good sir. Now, point us in the direction. As it's like, yeah, well, he went that way. We got about an hour's trip. If he hasn't smelt us. If he has, he's probably hauling ass. It's like, then there's no time to wait. Nomu, fetch. As he gives a hand signal, and the Nomu go rushing off. As these ones are these ones are sort of not at the level of Nomu at the USJ, but somewhat there, as they're like running like faster than the hunters can keep up with. It's like they have trackers in them, so they should be able to catch up with them soon enough. As Deku's running, he's like, not today, not today. As he jumps into the river, trying to like make his scent, as he's running through the sort of river, trying to get his scent washed away, as he jumps out of it a little bit away, as it's like, oh, dang it. Well, they do have a sense of smell themselves, so they should be able to keep up. As two of the Nomu stop, it's like they stop, but the other one bends to the side as he jumps over a river and continues running, as he's like, they're still on the chase. Kurogiri, hurry. As they teleport to the two others, it's like, follow your sibling, as the other two start running off now. As Deku's like, should be safe here. As then, immediately, he's shoulder checked by the Nomu that came in like a speeding bullet. As he's like, what the hell? As he's looking up at it, it lets off one of its messed up roars. Deku's like, okay. As he grows his claws and sort of starts darting back and forth, but the Nomu moves blindingly fast, even for Deku. As Deku's like, what the? As it punches him right in the face. Deku actually being sent, like his face being sent to the wall, as he smashes into it, getting his claw sharp and slicing, like sort of lunging out forward as he catches this thing in the arm by just the luck of, by luck, as he rips off the arm. He's no stranger to gore and violence. And as Deku gets ready, this is what happens. He sees the Nomu's arm starts to regrow. He's like, guess I'm not the only one with healing factor. And his horn by now is regrown. As he charges forward, as it's like sort of waiting there for a second, charges forward and slams this thing into the wall. As he stands up somewhat and forces it deep, down, even further, he takes his claws and sort of stabs up into it and just pretty much just rips it in two. As he's like, that should stop him. As he starts running again, as then he sees the Nomu behind him, as he runs into a cave and then slams, sort of causes the cave's entrance to collapse. It's like, okay. As he has somewhat of a night vision, I would say. I think it would make sense, since it's supposed to be the ultimate elder dragon hunters. It would only make sense to give him night vision. As he's sort of stumbling around, still young. Okay. He says, like, alright. As he starts looking through the cave, trying to find the way out of there, without leading back to the other ones. As the doctor arrives, he's like, it seems he went through here too early. As he's like, no, move, clear it out. As they start moving around rocks, but then he also notices the third one isn't here. As then he goes back and looks at it, he's like, oh, it seems that he is strong enough to defeat one of the Wika Nomus. Still a considerable feat, but maybe not for the elder dragon known as nerrgegante. Took many hunters, monsters, and heroes alike to take him down. He hasn't fully matured yet, that much is obvious. But still, if we can get our hands on him now, we could do great things with his DNA. As he's like, come, Kurigiri, we'll report back to Jack while these two deal with the manual labor. As they go back to Jack, going to discuss with him details about the buying, you could say, of Deku. Deku's wandering aimlessly through this cave. He's like, alright. As he's walking through, like I said, he has a form of night vision, or the ability to see in the dark. As he's moving around, he's like, it seems the cave's getting a bit smaller. As he transforms down to like his second degree, you would say. He's still armored a little bit, still taller and a bit buffer, but overall he's able to stay like relatively comfortable in the cave. It's like, my horn's grown back completely. Maybe with time I'll get a better healing factor. But until then, I'll continue to do what I do. As he makes his way out of the cave and arrives somewhere. He's like, I've been walking for 3 hours. Pitch dark. Thank God nothing was in there. As he really didn't find anything. It was just a very long cave. As he would describe it, almost like a dug tunnel. But there was nothing that could have dug it here. So he just puts the question out of his mind and just goes, well, I'll move forward for as long as I can. And maybe I'll have to set up camp somewhere. The sun's already come up, essentially. By now, the sun's like, pretty much it's morning, as the doctor arrived earlier than anticipated. And the only reason why people woke up is because, well, Jack just woke up in the middle of the night and came on to check on Deku. It's a weird timeline, I know. I'll try to stop. But as the doctor arrived, they went hunting off after Deku. As Jack and them discussed the whole transaction, as it's like, so what are you giving us, Doctor, whatever your name is? He's like, I'm anticipating you aren't the sort of person who likes the standard issue money. He's like, oh, that'd be great. But it depends on how much you're offering him. It's like, 100 million. It's like, that's a lot more than anything we've gotten before. Typically it's 50 mil at most. But thank you for the offer. That is accepted right away. It's like, but until we actually get him, we're not giving you any money. He's like, I understand. We had the little bastard tied up. I thought we had that little bastard done. But hey, it's my mistake for underestimating his resolve. But it shows you You guys are probably gonna have a hard time keeping him in check. My boys will find him. Don't worry. It's like, not worried about them finding him. I'm worried about them hurting him. He's like, yeah, he's a unique specimen. Sort of things they're gonna do to him anyway. He's like, he is a prize specimen, as you know. We would run tests, take samples of blood, and see if we could replicate some of his abilities. Such as the ability to eat something and gain power from it. He's like, that's a very ambitious goal. Let me know how it works out. Maybe we can do more business. He's like, maybe we will, Mr. Jack. Until then, we're done here. It's like, agreed. As we cut to Deku, he's somewhat, as he's wandering through the forest, he just hears bang and clanging, and then he hears a little bit of cheering, as it's like, well done, fighters! Return to your corners! As Deku's like, what? As he walks and like comes through the jungle, a few people are like, hey, who's this kid? It's like, oh, it must be one of the people who've heard of our little business going on. Well, let's see how he does. Hey kid, what are you doing here? He's like, I live out here. It's like, see, so you're one of those types. Well, welcome where the rejects of society come. People with dangerous quirks, mutate, horrible villain quirks, as they would put it, and monsters alike. Hell, we even got some quirkless or outlaw hunters here. But don't worry, there's a little bit of peace going on, so don't worry about you getting stabbed in the middle of the night. He's like, thank you. What's this? It's like, oh, this? It's some fight pits. We do it for entertainment. If you're lucky today, kid, there's the champion. As what comes out is a... Oh, crap, what was the name again? What was it? Oh, it seems like it's a Zenogre. Is what they say it is. It's pretty much like a wolf lightning hybrid thing. Deku's like, that's a weird monster. He's like, never seen a Zenogre, huh? Well, let me give you some advice. These bastards are wolves on steroids that are also on, like, steroids that give them lightning powers. These guys are tough, invincible. If you're a monster, you may want to try your hand at this fight pit stuff. It's pretty good fun. He's like, really? It's like, yeah. Oh. It's early in the morning, and this is probably a champion's warm-up. He's got a big bout tonight. You want to come there? Let me know. I'll show you. He's like, thank you. It's like, no problem, kid. Name's Jeremy. Well, my name's not Jeremy. I'll say the name of this person is... Good question. Elizabeth. People around here just call me Liz. It's like, oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Liz. It's like, no problem, kid. I'll show you around sometime. As she gives him a wink and walks off. Duck is like, she's weird. As he just goes to a corner and just sits down. Yes, that's where I'll be ending this one off at. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hope you guys continue to enjoy this. Hope you guys have a nice day, nice night, nice life. And, well, this was made on the night of the Super Bowl. So, hope whoever's hit, to those whose team won. I didn't really pay that much attention to it. Football ain't my thing. Sure, it's fun seeing people tackle one another, but, you know. I'm more into boxing, as you guys probably know by now. And sports like that. Again, nice day, nice night, nice life.